Maryville hockey starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Maryville University Hockey Center here in Chesterfield, Missouri. I'm Todd Panula, and I'll be bringing you all of tonight's exciting ACHA women's action as it's the Maryville Saints against the Midland Warriors. Well, it's time to right the ship tonight for the Maryville Saints. After starting the season strong, the Saints have dropped 3 of their last 4 and 2 in a row. Despite a strong offensive showing, the Saints have lost 2 in a row to the McKendree Bearcats by scores of 6-4 and 5-4 last weekend. Unfortunately, the schedule does them no favors. The mighty Midland Warriors come to Chesterfield tonight looking to continue their early season dominance. Due to a difference in the schedules, the Warriors have played a total of 15 games this season compared to just the 6 for Maryville. Compounding things is the fact that the Warriors have won all 15 games and 11 on the road. They have not played easy teams either. Midland won both of their games over McKendree. They also took down Adrian and teams like Jamestown as well. It's going to be a tall task for the Saints in this game, but seeing how you measure up in October sets the bar for how you need to play in March. Switching back to the Saints, the Maryville comes in at 3-3. After starting the opening rankings at number 1, they have slipped to number 5, which is a fair assessment of where they're at after some hiccups in the schedule. The Warriors are definitely going to need a rebound game tonight from starting goaltender Hannah Tresick. Tresick just never really looked comfortable against the Bearcats last weekend and got the gate in the first period, but they will need her to return to her dominating style if they're to pick up a win here tonight. The defense is also going to have to step up much more as well because the Warriors are averaging close to 6 goals per game. So it's going to be a big test for the Saints in this contest. Your starting lineups for tonight will start with the visiting Midland Warriors. On the forward line, it's going to be Victoria Campbell on right wing, Callie McGuire on left wing, and centering that line will be Kiara McGregor. On defense, it'll be Jadis Howden and Katie McNair. In between the pipes will be Bryn Naus. For the hometown Saints, on the forward line, it'll be Haley Beckett. On the wing, countered by Nia Morris. And Aaliyah Sutton will be the center on that top line. On defense, it'll be Emma Gerwitz and Avery Falardu. In between the pipes, it'll be Hannah Tresick. So will the Saints return to form, or is it going to be the Warriors running wild tonight? We'll find out next on the Maryville Saints Hockey Network. Good evening, hockey fans, and strap yourselves in. We've got a top 5 matchup between the Midland Warriors and your Maryville Saints here this evening on October the 25th. Scheduled start time was supposed to be 5:30. It is currently 5:48, but we won't hold that against them. Should be an excellent contest between these two teams. Both teams more than capable of putting the puck in the back of the net. As we mentioned in the pregame opener, the Warriors averaging close to 6 goals per game. Maryville, meanwhile, has been a little bit up and down. They still have their leading scorers as their leading scorers. Aaliyah Sutton really got herself rolling with some goals last weekend. She has a total of 6 with 11 points. Haley Beckett has 5 goals with 8 points. Unfortunately for the Saints, there's a large drop-off after that, as the next leading goal scorer is Sophie Brennan with 2, and there's a few sprinkled in there with 1 after that as well. The teams have gathered at center ice. The puck is dropped, and we are underway. The Saints open up with possession. It's quickly given away, though. Taken up the right-hand side by Campbell. A duel by both teams, and it's lost at the blue line. Saints looking to gather it back. Jousting at center ice, and into the offensive zone come the Warriors. An easy first handle of the puck for Tresick, as she's able to cover that one up. Now they'll count that as a shot up on the scoreboard. I think that's a little bit generous, but statistically it'll help out the goaltender. 19:39 to go here in the first period. Saints, if nothing else, hoping to keep this one a little more tightly contested after last weekend, in which the first period was somewhat their demise against the Bearcats. A collision along the end wall. Sutton comes up with it along the near wing. Cross-ice pass, not there for Morris. Coming back the other way, Page gets the blue line and rims it around. Picked up by Smolinski, but she struggles to find the handle. A quick shot and a shoulder save made by Tresick after a great chance there by Huberdeau. Huberdeau comes right back into the slot, surrounded by the defense. And we'll get another smothering puck by Tresick. So 2 shots on goal. One of them was a little bit generous. Another one was a big save for Tresick. So she's gotten herself comfortable here in the early going. Just a minute and change gone. Hansen sweeps it over towards the far boards. Gillings pops it into the neutral zone. A foot race. Ross is going to get there, but just a step behind the defender. Brennan seals it off along the near boards. Gillings is there as well. Warriors get it out to center. Second time in a row that Smolinski has struggled with the handle. A bouncing puck out of the reach of Brennan. Huberdeau goes skate to stick over her own blue line. Drives up the right wing again. 1-on-3. Centering pass. Finds nobody, but now there's some players coming in late, and a glove save made. The shot was taken by Bryn Tosh, but Tresick saw it all the way. Saints getting good goaltending thus far. From the point, McNair twists it around. It's held up along the boards of far side. Intercepting the pass was Villard. Way up into the air from McNair. Saints chase it down. Almost give it away behind their goal. Now they do give it away along the far boards. Campbell just couldn't find a seam. Popped over here to the near wing. O'Leary clears it out. On the forecheck, Windross came up empty-handed. Far side, Putnam took a swing and missed on the poke check. Saints send it along, wrong side of the red line, so everybody's got to come back out there. 17:22 to go here in the first. Scoreless thus far. McGregor against Villard on the faceoff. Saints end up with the puck, even though they kind of lost the draw. O'Leary was taken down at center, no call. Campbell is bumped off the puck momentarily. She's still in possession, though. Good strong play there for the Warriors forward. Now a block. Morris off to the races, but 1-on-3 as the Saints are trying to change. Greenlee taps it off the wall. Saints on the forecheck. Sweep one into the near side corner. It's tapped around Beckett. Beckett comes in, trying to help out Gurwitz. Beckett ends up with the puck. Crosses the line with Morris in tow. Stapled to the near side wall. Greenlee sends it far wing. Blaine was there. She gets it out to center. Gurwitz settles down. Warriors trying to change. Beckett is around. Oh, and we get a late whistle for offside. Beckett had managed to sidestep the defender. Had a good lean towards goal. Unfortunately for her, that she had a teammate that had not established herself back on side. Neutral zone face-off just outside the Midland line. Cross-ice pass, twisted around Poole. She still manages to flick it into the offensive zone. Chased down by Falardo. Gurwitz in the near side corner. Flips it around Bell, but it took it out, hop off the glass, and went out of play. .16:04 to go here in the opening period. Saints have yet to put a shot on goal against Bryn Naus. Ditto steps up and kicks it around. Smolinski seals it off. Outlet pass. Bjornsson struggled with it initially. Now the Saints come out with speed. They don't have numbers. Struther on her off wing, trying to drive to the goal line, and a sweeping puck through the middle. Just cuts through the top of the crease. Penalty upcoming on the Saints. Take your pick. It's either going to be Toole or Hansen. Both had sticks in the vicinity. Oh, and they're going to call icing. That's interesting. The referee put his arm up in the air. I assumed it was for that collision towards the blue line, but I guess they're saying that the icing occurred before that. Unless the referee just had his arm up in the air to signal the icing. So, nevertheless, you stay at 5-on-5. Warriors fans obviously will feel a little bit hard done there, as they did have a player taken down. Deflected shot on the way through, and it's kicked away by the right pad of Naus. Alicia Ross got a stick to it on the way through. Good bouncer. Kind of a rock skipping shot there. Hansen gains the red line and spins it around the roulette wheel. 5 minutes and change gone here in the first period. Blaine couldn't sidestep the pressure from Villard. Good stick by the Saints again as they hold the zone a second time. Windross comes over. She's able to disrupt the pass. She takes Huberdeau to the wall. Loose in the slot. Warriors have it, but they're in their own zone. Windross pilfers the puck away again. Both teams chopping and kicking at it. Putnam sees the pressure coming. She's bumped off the puck. A reverse pass. Surprised Karunikar. Howden pops it down low. Campbell is there in the corner. Little brush pass. Just continues to roll below the goal line. Ballard intercepted the centering feed. 6 minutes gone here in the first. Shots are 2-1. Karunikar looking down at the puck. Finds an open player on the far side. Well, wasn't open for long. Karunikar takes a seat after she had charged up towards the red line. She's finally back in the defensive zone. Warriors struggling to get it off the wall right now. Defense chips in. Putnam couldn't get there before Poole. Now we get a whistle and a stoppage. The arm is up in the air of the neutral zone referee. And we're going to get a roughing call. So Victoria Campbell takes the first penalty of the game, and the Saints are going to go to the power play. Saints trying to get it into the bumper position. Too many defenders in front. Already 15 seconds gone. Beckett avoids the poke check, looks north, gains the center line. Into the zone. Morris was the intended target from Smolinski. Oh, and it was in the skates of Sutton. She still manages to get through, tried to put it in front. Smolinski was there. Kerwitz with a shot. It rims around a couple times. Alpha skates. But ultimately, the Warriors are able to clear. 1:15 left in the power play. Cross ice from Beckett. Smolinski gains the zone and then gives it right back. Now it's a foot race. Maryville has a player go down. McNair was there. Or McGregor, excuse me, for the Warriors. And after a couple good forays into the offensive zone, Maryville struggling a little bit now. Beckett on the right wing, drives to the middle. He's got Brennan coming, and a blocker save made on the wrister. Villard pitchforks it forward, right to a Warriors player, and they clear. Karunakar with Huberdeau right on her. Huberdeau took Karunakar down. Maryville Saints fans don't appreciate that. Brennan chops the puck loose. Karunakar almost got tripped up there. Managed to hold her feet and sends it in. Gillings with speed. Pushed to the wall by Greenlee. Warriors send it up the zone, and it just sneaks past Karunakar. Back to 5-on-5, 11:20 left to go in the period. Karunakar gains the zone, but a little poke from Kennedy Wood kept that from going too deep. Karunakar intercepts at center, bounces a shot in on goal. Toole comes in on the forecheck. Cross ice feed, and the Warriors look to head up. Putnam disrupts things in the neutral zone. Strother swinging at it as well. Tosh lays it back. Blaine guided over towards the wall. Saints trying a piecemeal line change here. Saints with 3 shots on goal after only having one for a good stretch of this first period. Now it comes loose in front. Tresick makes the save. Oh, and she's able to hold on. Basically all alone in front was Campbell. The puck just wouldn't settle down for her, but Tresick was well positioned, and we remain scoreless. .10:32 to go in the first. Kerwitz flings it off the window, and it will escape the zone. Right back in from the Warriors. Saints kick it out. Trying to gain the offensive line. It's just past the skates of Sutton. Now she's able to stick herself into trouble. She manages to get a shot. The rebound loose. But the Saints could not find it. Campbell plays it off the skates of Sutton, who is just a water bug here on this shift. And we get a whistle. It's going to be a high sticking call against the Saints. So now the Warriors will have their first power play of the game. So the penalty box seems to favor the number 77 thus far, as Campbell took the penalty for the Warriors, and now it's Haley Beckett for the Saints. Off the draw, the Warriors look to get it back to Larson at the point. She plays catch with her defensive teammate. Huberto got it down low, and then the shot went wide. Cross-ice feed. It's gloved down by Tresick. Hard to tell if that was a shot or a pass because it had some steam on it from McKenna Larson. But Tresick cut it off before it could become any more dangerous than it was. Saints changed their penalty killers. Only 11 seconds gone off the penalty. Larson just outside the circle. It's deflected on the way through, but bounces off the end wall. Karunikar couldn't clear it up the zone. Second opportunity. She'll send it down. Huberto comes up. Legs churning. Stick handles her way into the circle. She shoots, and it's kicked away by Tresick. Wraparound attempt. Tresick makes the save. It's loose just outside the crease, but the Saints will clear. Huberto's back at center. Teammates were offside. Now the Saints have Gillings up front. The pass just snuck away from her. 64 seconds left in the power play. Warriors come up unmolested. McGregor with a shot, trying to sneak it in that upper corner on the short side. Nothing doing, though, as it went wide. 45 seconds left in the power play. They get the backdoor play, and it's 1-0 Warriors. Great setup from Kiara McGregor, and a tap-in finish. Nobody was stopping that. The goal goes to Ashlyn Kuffler, and Midland has a 1-goal lead. So Kuffler at 11:13 on the power play. The only way that one wasn't going in is if somebody got a stick on it on the way through. It was just a great play. As I mentioned, set up by McGregor and an easy finish. Just had to have her stick in the right place, which she did. Howden holds his own. Saints come out. Dangerous play there for Beckett as she had her head down when she was reaching for the puck. Perhaps a little less dangerous in the women's game because you don't have to worry about people coming in with just gigantic body checks, but you still never know if the defenseman is aware of what's going on. So no worse for wear, though. Hansen gets it down low. Centering feed went off the defenseman's skate, but right to the goaltender, and now she'll cover it up with 7:59 to go. First period here at the Maryville University Hockey Center. Saints trail by a goal as Midland scored on the power play. Brandon Ross and Gillings out there for the Saints, but it's a face-off win for the Warriors. Pushed over towards the far side. Ross was in the way, so the Warriors can't get out. Slid over here to the near wall and again cut off Hansen. Got it into the corner, but no further. Smolinski jabs it down low. It's finally popped back out towards center. Now a loose puck into the Maryville zone. Smolinski recovers, keeping an offensive chance away from Kuffler. Maryville reversed it, but right back into traffic. A scrum for it in the near side corner. 7:15 to go here in the first. A little bit of space for Gillings on the far wing. She cross corner, guides it in. Huberto slips it past everybody. It's all the way over to the far corner. Putnam sends it way up into the air. Blocker save made by Windross. Unfortunately for her, she's not a goaltender. A bouncer in towards Tresick, and she will hold on. Clock stops with 6:44 to go here in the first period. Been a pretty tightly contested first period thus far. Shots pretty even. Right now it's 6-5 in favor of the Warriors, but it's swung back and forth along with the momentum in the game. Here's another shot by McGregor. That just ramped off of a stick. Went over the goal. Chance for Windross to get out. That's intercepted. McGregor sends it right back the other way. Cross ice. They go tic-tac-toe. Gerwitz is looking for Windross. Warriors slow things up at center ice. Blaine takes a little bit of a slash and filters it on through. Wood is pushed to the wall. 6 minutes left in the first. Toole crosses their own blue line and the red and the attacking line as well. Might as well gain them all. Here's Struther. Chip pass. Trying to reverse it back to the far side. Bjornsson tried to repay the favor, but nobody was here on the near wing. Saints have it at center. Putnam drives it right back in. Maryville holds his own at least for now, but they're not under clean possession. And it's kind of one of those situations where the Saints have played a pretty good game overall, but once you fall down to a team like the Warriors, you allow them to really settle in on the defensive end and just look for counterattacks, which they got right there. Tresick made the save. Sutton was hauled down, and the Saints will go back to the power play. So Aaliyah Sutton draws the penalty. Maryville will be up a player. Katie McNair is in the sin bin for the next 2 minutes. Saints fans hoping that it'll be a little bit less than that. Sutton, Gerwitz, Smolinski, Morris, and Beckett on this power play line. Morris has the puck, tried to slip that through the seam. The defense spotted it well. Tresick comes out of the crease, and she will cover it up. 12 seconds gone in the power play. In behind the net, Gerwitz has it. Setting things up, leaves it for Sutton. She'll drop it to Gerwitz. Hot pass for Beckett. She gains the offensive zone, and then the puck just kind of bounced on her. Might have been jabbed away by the defender. 85 seconds left in the power play. Sutton comes in. Crunched against the wall, and the Warriors will clear. Maryville changing things up. Beckett is still out there, as is Gerwitz. Everybody else is new. Beckett drives to the right circle, and the puck just slid away. The defender, Devana Ditto, did just enough. The referee has the arm up in the air, and then we're going to get a holding call based on the reaction from the crowd. I would have to figure that we will be 4-on-4 for the next 56 seconds. And based on the reaction of the player, I have to figure that it's going to be Haley Beckett again as well. She's been an interesting player thus far this year. Obviously one of the leading scorers for the Saints. But at least here in the home games, she's got to be one of the leading penalty minute takers as well. You don't normally see that from your top scorers, but Beckett not afraid to get her nose dirty, so she gets in those hard areas, so to speak. Finds herself in the box again. So now we play 4-on-4, a little bit of open ice. Perhaps that'll favor the Saints. Here comes Villard on the backhand, takes a shot. The puck was loose, but the defender cleared it up the zone. Putnam holds it in. 30 seconds left in 4-on-4, and then it'll be an abbreviated power play for Midland. Saints unable to take advantage of the change. Warriors have it inside their own zone as they slide some Crafty passes through the middle. Bell holds it up against the wall. Dug out of there by Larson. It is cleared out. And now the Saints have to go into penalty killing mode. Stretch pass tapped into the zone by Bell. Gerwitz has it and sends it the length of the ice. 55 seconds left in the second Midland power play. Saints 0 for 2. Poole guides it in against 3 defenders. Carries all the way around, all the way to the point. Huberdeau takes the wrister. That one was deflected just wide. 35 seconds left, and the Saints clear. Huberdeau goes to the right wing. Cross ice pass finds a wide open Bell here on the near side. Tried to return the favor to Poole in the middle. Instead, it's along the wing for Page. She'll take a shot. That was blocked wide of the net. Almost settled down there for Bell. Huberdeau could not seal herself against the wall, and Struther clears. Beck is out of the box for the second time. So the Warriors are 0 for 2 with the power play as well. Here comes Brennan, charging in on the right wing from the circle, puts it towards goal. Right idea. She had Ross driving there, but she was held up a little bit, so even if that had bounced in a Maryville way, I don't know if she would have been able to get her stick down. 1:40 left to go here, first period. Saints down by 1. Almost a knee-on-knee collision there. That was dangerous. Howden was spun around. Saints in the midst of a line change, and the puck comes right back in their own zone. Here's Gerwitz, the captain. Gains the attacking blue line. Tried to pitchfork it forward. They get it to Campbell. The Warriors have it on the far wing. Chipped around. Sutton to Morris on the far side half wall. Sutton again. Below her own goal line. McGuire was offside, so she couldn't make a play on that puck. Gerwitz gets it to the middle. Morris is there. It's bouncing around. Morris guides it in the attacking zone. But again, that's just been achingly out of reach here in the first period for the Saints. Pucks have been there, but they just managed to kind of slide away, or it's just out of their reach, or the defensive stick comes in just at that right moment. So credit to the Warriors on those plays. As the back check from Sutton slows things up. Huberdeau intercepts at center, 19 seconds left. Karunikar with the puck, plays it off the end wall. Putnam sends it into neutral ice. Huberdeau with a shot, a little bit of rainbow on that one. Tresick makes the save, and the clock will stop with 6 seconds left. Puck rattles around a couple times. They do send it towards the side of the goal. The referee keeps the whistle. And now there's a little bit of extracurricular activity. Stepping up for their goaltender, who got bumped a little bit. But after 20 minutes of play, there's still a lot left to go. The Saints do trail by 1. But they still have every opportunity to come back and try to win this game. We'll step aside, but keep it right here on the Maryville Saints Hockey Network. We'll have the second period coming up in just a little bit.
There comes a time where it's going to get harder and more difficult. But to never lose that focus of enjoying the game is so important. Leon Draisaitl from Cologne, Germany, Edmonton Oilers. For me, it started early. My dad played, so it ran in the family a little bit, and always wanted to play in the NHL. I'm an offensive guy that likes to generate and create chances and take big pride in the defensive side of things as well. I've got nothing but great things to say about Warrior, and a huge fan of the consistency year after year for me personally, bring out the best product, and it's so simple and easy to work with Warrior, and on top of that, the service is incredible. Always things to learn, always things to grow, always the parts of the game to get better at, but all in all, you have to be a Warrior.
College hockey. It's more than just what school you play for. More than just another sweater you pull on. It's about focus, determination, strategy, and poise. It's more than just packed rinks and screaming fans. It's about heart, skill, and passion. In nearly 30 years of the ACHA, we don't just play the game of hockey. We are the game of hockey. Hundreds of elite players and coaches from some of the United States and Canada's most prestigious programs. The American Collegiate Hockey Association. More than just a game.
Hello everyone, I hope you've had a great summer. As the school year gets started across the country, we're excited to also welcome you back to another great season of hockey. Thanks for being a part of the USA Hockey family. I want you to know that our volunteers and our staff work every single day as hard as they can to make sure hockey is the best sports experience in every community in our country. Within USA Hockey, you're part of an organization that's a world leader in development, safety, fun, and success, and one that is committed to fostering a welcoming environment for all by building a diverse, equitable, and inclusive game. Hockey is played in thousands of communities across our entire country. Please join me in keeping the momentum going by inviting at least one new person to get involved with hockey this year. It doesn't matter if it's someone who wants to play, coach, officiate, volunteer, or just be a fan. We're excited about sharing the joy our sport brings with as many people as possible. I would also like to offer a friendly reminder to make sure that respect is top of mind every time you enter the rink or take to the ice for a game or practice this season. That includes making sure that we never use hateful or discriminatory language, as it has absolutely no place in our game or in our society. It's on all of us to make sure that we respect the game, including playing within the rules, treating officials with respect, giving our best, and being a good teammate. In the end, hockey is about fun, so let's make sure we never lose sight of that. Here's to a great season ahead, one filled with friendship, respect, success, and most of all, plenty of smiles.
Welcome to Maryville University,
Welcome to Saints Nation.
home of the Big Red M.
So what does it mean to be a Maryville Saint?
It's more than just going to classes.
As Saints, we are passionate about what we believe in.
We are open-minded and curious about other points of view.
And we know this about life at Maryville.
Your best experiences will happen when you get involved.
Make sure to get involved on campus.
We work hard.
But we have a lot of fun too.
We have a passion to see each other succeed.
You might have a few hiccups along the way.
Or maybe something more serious. campus when we run into adversity.
We have faculty and staff here to provide support.
We stand with our fellow saints through the good times
and the difficult times.
So be sure to seek out help when you need it.
We know that here at Maryville,
we are never alone.
The spirit of Maryville flows through each person that steps foot on our campus.
Being a saint is that feeling that Maryville University is your community.
That even when you're far away from home,
you are home.
We're on this journey together.
We are Maryville University.
One team, one family.
It's time for the Maryville Saints Intermission Report. Let's get ready for the second period.
There comes a time where it's going to get harder and more difficult, but to never lose that focus of enjoying the game is so important. Leon Dreisaitl from Cologne, Germany, Edmonton Oilers. For me, it started early. My dad played, so it ran in the family a little bit, and always wanted to play in the NHL. I'm an offensive guy that likes to generate and create chances and take big pride in the defensive side of things as well. I've got nothing but great things to say about Warrior, and a huge fan of the consistency year after year for me personally, bring out the best product, and it's so simple and easy to work with Warrior. And on top of that, the service is incredible. Always things to learn, always things to grow, always the parts of the game to get better at, but all in all, you have to be a Warrior.
And welcome back to the Maryville University Hockey Center as we prepare for the second period between the Midland Warriors and your Maryville Saints. 1-0 Warriors after 20 minutes, with Midland getting a power play goal at 11:13. Just a great setup. McGregor from the left circle got it across the top of the crease, and she found Kuffler on the back door. And as I mentioned during the run of play, once it got past all the defensive sticks, that was always going to be a goal unless it just exploded off the stick in an awkward fashion. But it did not. It went into the back of the net. Shots were 9-7 in favor of Midland. But that was an interesting statistic that kind of went back and forth throughout the period. Warriors had the better of the offensive play in the first 5 minutes or so, and they were out shooting Maryville probably, I believe it was about 3 or 4 to 1. And then the Saints, when they had their first power play, managed to get a decent amount of shots on goal, even with one coming right after. And after that, it kind of went back and forth, as did the entirety of the period overall. But the stat that counts the most in the eyes of many are the pucks that hit the back of the net, and there was only just the one. So the teams switch sides. Maryville will be going right to left on your screens. In positive news, the St. Louis Blues currently lead the Detroit Red Wings 2-0. I'm sure most of you watching at home don't really care about that, but it's of interest to me, so I just figured I'd pass it along. So the Warriors in blue and orange, the Saints in white and red. Maryville wins the faceoff for the second period in a row. Falardo tried to gain the line with a strong pass, but it was cut out. Warriors get it into the offensive zone. Saints chop it up into the air. McNair sealed it down. Delayed offside, so the Warriors couldn't get too deep in. 25 seconds gone here as the stretch pass went off a skate. Howden couldn't quite get the pass under control. That one went awkwardly in on Tresick. She managed to handle it. Now here's Beckett with a shot, and it's just underneath the blocker in the body. Good positioning there for Bryn Naus. Warriors come up with the puck off the draw as they brush it over towards the far side. Slowed up along the boards by Poole. Reversed and reversed again by Greenlee. Looking for a seam up the far wing. Hansen holding strong at the blue line. It's finally sent out. Smolinski puts it right back in, but nobody in white was in that vicinity. Now here's Brennan with a shot. She just misses high to the glove side. Ross on the off wing. Manages to sweep it around. Smolinski steps up from the blue line. And the pinch play works, at least for now. Second opportunity, and the Warriors do get it out. Larson with a strong pass up the middle. Sent wide, a goal by Poole as the Warriors trying to change their lines. Killings with a cross ice pass to nobody. And the puck goes out of play into the bench, so the faceoff will stay inside the Midland zone. Putnam steps up, and it's chopped around her. Kuffler got the pass off. Tic-tac-toe to Huberdeau. She was slowed up at the blue line as Villard was right there. Putnam sweeps it up the far boards, and it's filtered through to Windross. Off the boards, trying to catch up to it herself. She was kind of held up there by Blaine. No penalty. Villard left it. Karunikar walking the line. She comes onto her off wing, gets it back to the forehand, takes a shot, punched away by the goaltender. Rebound chance, probably with the hit the side of the net, but it was a shot off the blocker one way or the other. Now the puck loose in the hash marks, but the Saints could not corral it. Twisted into the zone, and Midland will not be allowed to change as icing was the call. 17:22 to go here in the second period. Saints down by a goal. It's a rather frosty night here at the Maryville University Hockey Center. Not necessarily outside. By Canadian standards, it's probably summer weather, but inside the rink, it's pretty chilly here tonight. Exit pass went off the backside of Jordan Bell. The Warriors retreating. Puck was loose along the half wall, but the Saints couldn't get clean possession. They hold it in a couple times. Now a long shot bounces wide of the glove side. The Saints have swung the shot total, easy for me to say, back in their favor, 10-9. Still looking for that shot that's going to take the goose egg off the board. Exit feed finds Kuffler. She'll just flip it in. Sutton. To Morris, and now Beckett into the offensive zone. She's swung around, and that's going to be a penalty on Howden. She gives the referee the prerequisite, what did I do? The Saints will have their third power play of the contest. Perhaps the third time will be the charm. Saints would really like to get a goal here on the power play, tie things up, and kind of resettle into the game, not feel like they're playing from behind. Nobody got clean possession off the face-off, but eventually the Warriors were able to send it down. That'll kill off at least 15 seconds. Oh, and there's a big collision in behind the net. Saints are going to be up by a player. They probably need to give the puck away, and they do. McGregor touches it up. Tripping is going to be the call. So the Saints will have a 5-on-3 for at least a minute and 38 seconds unless they can score. So Jadis Howden was in the sin bin already, and now she is joined by Callie McGuire. Saints win the faceoff, and that's important here to get things set up. Gerwitz walks the line, struggling to find the puck on end. Now the Saints have shot themselves in the foot as Smolinski's going to take a cross-checking call, so it's going to be a 4-on-3. So only 8 seconds come off the clock. So now it'll be a 4-on-3 for 1 minute and 29 seconds, and then we'll try to figure everything out after that. I'm not about to do clock math in my head with 3 different players. Here comes Sutton, gains the line, finds Morris. She was trying to drive into the middle. She was met with a poke check from Ditto. Morris spins around trying to get it on the forehand. Gerwitz takes it off the wall. Gerwitz, one-timer for Beckett, and the shot was stopped. Naus made the save. Gerwitz holds it in. 56 seconds left. Tic-tac-toe, Gerwitz with a shot. It's blocked, and it's settled right down for the Warriors, allowing them to clear it out. Midland will get 3 fresh skaters. Still 43 seconds left on this particular power play. Gerwitz lost it in the skates momentarily. Nifty stick work here from Sutton. Sutton was dragged down as Campbell had gone to the ice. O'Leary got it up. Beckett takes a shot off the side of the net. Some of the fans here on the near side got excited for a half second. Karunikar got handcuffed but still held it in. Now here's Beckett with the wrister. The rebound loose, but it's swept away. O'Leary from the outside hash marks. 8 seconds left in the power play. Beckett fans on the initial pass. Now it's Karunikar. Wrister got through, but it was blocked by Sutton. Karunikar sends it off the shoulder of the goaltender. Now we're 4-on-4 for 17 seconds. O'Leary with a wrister. Oh, and it's behind the goaltender, but wide of the net. It went off the blocker's shoulder, went down off the ice, and then still managed to stay out. 2 seconds left in the penalty to McGuire, and then Midland will have an 8-second power play. But they got what they wanted in terms of not only killing off those penalties, but an offensive zone draw as well. So if they win it here, then all of a sudden you get a player out of the box, and maybe you can set something up in those 8 seconds. Saints do win it, but they sweep it down low. Putnam, one touch up the zone, but then Gillings couldn't get it around. Good hold in by McNair. Everybody's out of the box. All the power plays go by the wayside. Still 1-0. Tresick managed to keep that skate strong against the post, and we'll have a face-off inside the Saint zone. Off the draw, the Saints get the puck. Coming out with speed is Ross. She gains the blue line, sends it in behind the net. Just out of the reach of Putnam, who was driving all the way in. Brennan, who was playing a little bit of defense. Karunikar had it right in front of the Midland bench. Ross trying to ward off some of the Warriors players. Here's Brennan. She takes a quick shot. It went off the skate and the post. Saints trying to take advantage of this momentum. Brendan with a blind pass. Gillings takes Kuffler to the wall. A 2-on-2 break the other way, and the Warriors electing to just dump it in. Kerwitz sees Kuffler coming, but Kuffler got the loose puck. Kuffler puts it into the middle. It settles down for Huberdeau. They're chopping at it. Tresick finally able to cover it up. 12:23 to go here in the middle frame. And it remains 1-0. Velardo pushed it up the near side wall and then finds the puck again in the corner. Drug it right into pressure, though. 12:12 to go. I don't think you can make a wish on that number. Rink-wide feed misses everything. They wave off icing, however. That popped way up into the air, but stays in the rink. Toole with a backhander into the slot. Nobody there in white. Struthers offside, so Saints check up. Into the zone. Bell is chasing it down. That's Taylor Bell. Played it off the side of the goal, but then it kind of got stuck there. Struther gains the red line and pushes it in. Saints will change now. 11:25 to go here in the period. Hansen pushes it down low, but Toole still needed to get off the ice. Skate to stick for Page. Pass was a little bit ambitious to Charlie Poole. Warriors gain the neutral zone and push it in as they will do a piecemeal line change. That took a strange hop off the boards, and it's coming right back in. Campbell with a backhand pass into the middle, and a one-timer from the far side ends up in behind the net. 10:45 to go here in the second. Beckett to Morris. She pushes it off the wall. Saints have tried that a few times with the passes to themselves, and the passes are exactly where they need to be, but they're just being held up just enough by the defender. McGregor pops one into the zone. Is it sent right back the other way by Karunikar? And then Ditto repays the favor as it's down deep again. Greenlee tossed it. Oh, and they were trying to set up the one-timer for Wood in front. Ditto gave it to Barilski. Barilski slammed it off the wall. Tosh has it. O'Leary went to the ice. Nobody calling for a penalty this time. Seemed like she kind of toe-picked, and there was just kind of a stick in the vicinity. Saints pick it off through the middle. Here comes Smolinski. She'll just rifle this one in. That's way too high, so it goes out of play. Face-off will be in the neutral zone with 9:32 to go. Pass was too far behind O'Leary. Kuffler guides it into the zone and then lost it. Gerwitz will chase it down in the far corner. Sealed off by Huberdeau. Huberdeau from the backhand. Lost it in the high slot. Spin shot. Went off of a skate. Villard struggling to get it up the wall. Now Villard takes an elbow right to the chest. No call on that one. Slapper from Kuffler went off a shin pad and wide. It rebounds all the way back out through the slot. Gerwitz tried to play it through the wickets of O'Leary, but she didn't know it was coming. Hands one offside. They're not going to win that battle. 8:40 to go here in the second. Velardo couldn't get it up the zone. Page centers the shot. Tresick made the save. Doesn't know too much about the rebound. Here's Page again. Hands it off. Poole tried to get a shot off. Tresick makes the save on the short chance. And she's able to cover up with 8:14 to go in the second. Shots 14-13 in favor of the Saints, but they have yet to get that one in behind the goaltender. Warriors doing a good job of keeping it in the offensive zone. Awkward collision along the near wall as McNair was taken down. Gillings comes in, one-on-one with the defender, drives towards the goal line. Centering pass was off a skate. McGregor gets it out into the neutral zone. Saints need to be careful, otherwise it's a 3-on-2. Everybody diving around at the about a yard or two out of the blue line. Here's Ross with a shot. Toe save with the left pad. Another chance for Brennan this time, and that one's chopped wide of the goal. Gillings tried to toss it to Ross. Putnam gets it down to Ross, and she just missed on the deflection. Toole is hauled down. Warriors chop it away from Ross as the Saints are going to change up. Karunikar duels with Campbell. Warriors come out with it. Smolinski retreats to pick up the puck. Stretch pass, and here comes Braun. She's got a partial breakaway and puts it right into the chest of the goaltender. That's about the only place you wouldn't want to put it. Nevertheless, a good scoring opportunity. Haven't mentioned the name of Joanna Braun too much here. It might have been her first shift, so perhaps a little bit understandable that she wasn't able to convert on that one. Tresick on the other side makes a save, and then the rebound shot was wide of the goal. Saints a little bit fortunate there that the Warriors didn't convert on that rebound opportunity. Bouncing puck may have been the savior, in addition to a great save by Tresick on the initial shot. Beckett slows it up, was looking for Sutton in the middle. Warriors saw it coming. It was telegraphed just a little bit. Morris holds his own. Beckett has it on the half wall. Huberdeau scraped it loose, and now they dig in along the boards, right on those yellow dashers. Sutton plays it back to center. Hitting a rut in the ice was Jaden Greenlee. Warriors have the puck, but unable to send it out of the zone thus far. Under 6 to go. It's a lofted puck, go all the way down, but not far enough for icing. Just missing Beckett on the stretch pass. Otherwise, she would have been in all alone. Still managed to get a shot off as it bounced off the end wall. Counterattack for Grace Page. Tries to cut through 2 defenders, but her teammate was there as well, and she might have been the one to actually be the biggest disruption. Maryville called for icing. 5:16 to go here in the period. Saints tried to scoop it out of the zone, but it came awkwardly off the backhand of Emma Gerwitz. They do get it down far enough that they'll be able to change this time around. Falardo sends it off the boards right in front of her own bench. Got a piece of that exit. I know maybe it was off a stick because they're going to wave off icing. Gerwitz tied up with Huberdeau as they've been in each other's kitchen, or that's actually Campbell. Same could be said of those two as well. Hops over a stick, and Windross sends it out to center. O'Leary guides it in. Karunikar is back. Played it off the near side wall, and we've got a whistle on the backside as there's going to be a slashing call. And into the box goes Katie McNair. So the Saints, with their, now this is very unofficial, but I believe it's their 5th power play of the game. And I say unofficially because every once in a while the 5-on-3s kind of get me a little bit confused as to how those count statistically, but when a goal is not scored, I would have to figure it still counts as a solo power play. Here's Sutton with a shot, and again right into the belly of the goaltender. Saints getting good looks, just haven't been able to pick out the corners yet. 1:52 to go in the power play, 4 minutes left in the period. Sutton wins the faceoff. Smolinski kicked it to Morris. Rink-wide feed comes off the boards to Beckett. Morris lost it. Smolinski got it out in front. One-timer. Oh, and it's wide. It went off a stick and out of play. Beckett thought she had the tying goal, and instead it's just another offensive zone faceoff. Flipped high and down the ice, stays in the rink. So that'll kill off a good 35 seconds of this power play. 1:20 now left. Couldn't connect to Beckett. It did hit off of her stick, so they avoid an icing call. Warriors get it into the neutral zone again. Villard comes in on the near wing, drops it for Sutton. She's looking for space in the middle. Beckett just outside the far circle, and the shot went through the top of the crease. Gerwitz goes down low. Smolinski drags it off the wall. Sutton to Gerwitz. Beckett, long shot, way too high. Sutton stretches it out. Oh, and it's a good hold in by Beckett. Back to Sutton. Outside the left circle, a rebound chance, they're whacking at it and it still won't go. Naus made the save and then kept herself large along the ice. Saints with 22 shots and all of them have been stopped. Here's Smolinski, poked away from her. Sutton quickly back to Gerwitz. Dug it out of her skates. Beckett to Gerwitz, a wrister, blocked on the way through. 15 seconds left in the power play. Sutton keeps it alive. Beckett's shot is blocked. It's fluttering around. Warriors send it up the zone. Oh, and it just clears. Smolinski trying to come back in, but she was on the wrong side of the blue line. And the Saints are now 0 for 5 with the power play. They had themselves some great chances, but again, both the defense for Midland and Bryn Naus doing their job. Gillings comes in. The puck wouldn't settle down after it had been jabbed away from her momentarily. Huberdeau couldn't guide it out of the zone. Karundikar doing a good job stepping up from the blue line. Warriors do send it down, and this one will be icing with 1:52 to go. Remember, fans, these two teams will play each other again tomorrow, and it'll be an afternoon affair with puck drop at 12:30 local time. Brennan with the centering pass, and Ross just couldn't get the shot away. Did a good job of keeping herself strong and in position, but the defense was just too much in the way. Face off below the goal line. Popped over here to Ross. Plays it off the wall. Putnam with a wrister. Looking for a deflection. And Brendan got a piece of it, but just not enough to steer it on goal. 90 seconds left in the period. Brennan drops it down low. Ross is there. Brennan, Gillings, fluttering puck right along the face-off dot. Good step up from Karundikar. Somebody lost a mitt. That's one of the Warriors. Poole gets her glove back on. Coming out of the zone is Howden. Puts it onto the forehand, puts a weak shot in on goal, and we'll get a stoppage with 63 seconds left. Here's a wrister, and that one hit off a stick and ended up fooling Tresick, but it went wide. As that one completely changed direction. It was heading towards the blocker side. Beckett is taken down, and it's going to be another penalty, this time against Heidi Danners. So can the Saints do something here in the final 39 seconds? Obviously, anytime you can score, you'll take it no matter what. But if the Saints could get one here in the final minute, that would really give themselves a lot of momentum to start the third period. So you have to appreciate the effort. Haley Beckett just not being denied. Sutton to Gerwitz. Couldn't find a lane. Nice pass to Sutton. Her shot was blocked. Morris, 27 seconds left. Beckett charging it over. Slows it up just enough. Gerwitz holds it in. Long shot kicked away. And the Warriors will clear. Time enough to get it back into the offensive zone if they hurry. 11 seconds left. Stretch pass is denied. Beckett trying to go for Sutton. 4 seconds left. It's rattling around. Here's Morris. Deflected. Oh, baby, what a save. Great opportunity there for Sutton on the doorstep. But Naus was well positioned, keeping the shutout going through 2 periods. We'll see if the Saints can get the tying goal with 1:21 left to go on their power play in the third. It was 1-0 after 1. It is 1-0 after 2. 40 minutes gone, 20 minutes left in regulation. We'll keep it right here as the Saints head off to the locker room. Great opportunities for both teams in this period. Shots are now 23-16. Keep it right here on the Saints Hockey Network. We'll have the third period coming up for you in just a bit.
There comes a time where it's going to get harder and more difficult. But to never lose that focus of enjoying the game is so important. Leon Draisaitl from Cologne, Germany, Edmonton Oilers. For me, it started early. My dad played, so it ran in the family a little bit, and always wanted to play in the NHL. I'm an offensive guy that likes to generate and create chances and take big pride in the defensive side of things as well. I've got nothing but great things to say about Warrior, and a huge fan of the consistency year after year for me personally, bring out the best product, and it's so simple and easy to work with Warrior. And on top of that, the service is incredible. Always things to learn, always things to grow, always the parts of the game to get better at, but all in all, you have to be a Warrior.
College hockey. It's more than just what school you play for. More than just another sweater you pull on. It's about focus, determination, strategy, and poise. It's more than just packed rinks and screaming fans. It's about heart, skill, and passion. In nearly 30 years of the ACHA, we don't just play the game of hockey. We are the game of hockey. Hundreds of elite players and coaches from some of the United States and Canada's most prestigious programs. The American Collegiate Hockey Association. More than just a game.
Hello everyone, I hope you've had a great summer. As the school year gets started across the country, we're excited to also welcome you back to another great season of hockey. Thanks for being a part of the USA Hockey family. I want you to know that our volunteers and our staff work every single day as hard as they can to make sure hockey is the best sports experience in every community in our country. Within USA Hockey, you're part of an organization that's a world leader in development, safety, fun, and success, and one that is committed to fostering a welcoming environment for all by building a diverse, equitable, and inclusive game. Hockey is played in thousands of communities across our entire country. Please join me in keeping the momentum going by inviting at least one new person to get involved with hockey this year. It doesn't matter if it's someone who wants to play, coach, officiate, volunteer, or just be a fan. We're excited about sharing the joy our sport brings with as many people as possible. I would also like to offer a friendly reminder to make sure that respect is top of mind every time you enter the rink or take to the ice for a game or practice this season. That includes making sure that we never use hateful or discriminatory language, as it has absolutely no place in our game or in our society. It's on all of us to make sure that we respect the game, including playing within the rules, treating officials with respect, giving our best, and being a good teammate. In the end, hockey is about fun, so let's make sure we never lose sight of that. Here's to a great season ahead, one filled with friendship, respect, success, and most of all, plenty of smiles.
Welcome to Maryville University.
Welcome to Saints Nation.
Home of the Big Red M.
So what does it mean to be a Maryville Saint?
It's more than just going to classes.
As Saints, we are passionate about what we believe in.
We are open-minded and curious about other points of view.
And we know this about life at Maryville.
Your best experiences will happen when you get involved.
Make sure to get involved on campus.
We work hard.
But we have a lot of fun too.
We have a passion to see each other succeed.
You might have a few hiccups along the way.
Or maybe something more serious.
When we run into adversity,
We have faculty and staff here to provide support.
We stand with our fellow Saints through the good times.
And the difficult times.
So be sure to seek out help when you need it.
we know that here at Maryville,
We are never alone.
The spirit of Maryville flows through each person that steps foot on our campus.
Being a Saint is that feeling that Maryville University is your community.
That even when you're far away from home,
You are home.
We're on this journey together.
We are Maryville University.
One team, one family.
It's time for the Maryville Saints Intermission Report. Let's get ready for the third period.
There comes a time where it's going to get harder and more difficult, but to never lose that focus of enjoying the game is so important. Leon Dreisaitl from Cologne, Germany, Edmonton Oilers. For me, it started early. My dad played, so it ran in the family a little bit, and always wanted to play in the NHL. I'm an offensive guy that likes to generate and create chances and take big pride in the defensive side of things as well. I've got nothing but great things to say about Warrior, and huge fan of the consistency year after year. For me personally, bring out the best product, and it's so simple and easy to work with Warrior. And on top of that, the service is incredible. Always things to learn, always things to grow, always the parts of the game to get better at, but all in all, you have to be a Warrior.
College hockey. It's more than just what school you play for. More than just another sweater you pull on. It's about focus, determination, strategy, and poise. It's more than just packed rinks and screaming fans. It's about heart, skill.
And welcome back to the Maryville University Hockey Center. The players get set for third period action. The Midland Warriors currently lead 1-0, but the Saints have a power play for 1 minute and 21 seconds. A little bit less now as the Warriors cleared down off the faceoff, but just a one-goal game. Obviously, the Saints would much rather be ahead in this scenario, but you couldn't draw it up much better against a team that comes in 15-0 and 11-0 on the road. So no pun intended, but Midland has been road warriors thus far this season. The puck is reversed, wing to wing. Gerwitz straight away. Now here's Beckett. She tried to send it blocker side, and it was blocked on the way through. 34 seconds remain on the power play. Saints need to go north. Gerwitz stretching it out. Smolinski slowed it up. Warriors couldn't clear it as the linesman was right there. It's lost at the blue line. It's in the neutral zone, though, so the Saints need to get out. They do find possession. 14 seconds left. Long shot from Beckett. It's a stick save. Bouncing puck out towards center, and the Warriors will clear it down. They have killed off another penalty. The Saints are now 0 for 6 with the man advantage. Pop pass over here to Ross on the wing. She's trying to find Brennan gliding through the zone. Gillings is there as well as Campbell on the far side. Warriors intercept the centering pass, and now it's a 2-on-1, and now it's a breakaway. A chance here, and they score! Kuffler with goal number 2 for her and her team. Just one little miscue through the middle sent the Warriors off to the races, and Kuffler was able to bury it over the glove hand. So Kuffler at 144, and the Warriors lead 2-0 here in the third period. So a mountain to climb now for the Saints. They do have the offensive firepower, but the Warriors, a stout defensive team. And Bryn Naus has been playing a stellar game thus far. She's got 24 saves to this point. Holding on to a shutout. Icing is the call against Midland. Face-off will go all the way down to our right-hand side. So every chance you get into the offensive zone, if you're the Saints, it's very important in this game. Got to make the most of it. Easy to say from the broadcast booth, but you got to treat every chance like it could be the last one that you might have in that game. Can't take anything for granted from here on out. Loose puck off the face-off. Gathered up behind the net. Centering feed went off the blocker of Tresick. Backhander, and Midland's about to go onto the power play. Howden sends it far point. Shot was blocked by Windross. It bounces down low, touched up by Gerwitz. And it'll be a hooking call with Midland getting their fourth power play coming up. So you never really want to put yourself down by a player, but definitely not in this scenario where time is of the essence. So here in the third period, 17:06 left to go, and you're already down by 2. You don't see too many shorthanded goals in the collegiate game overall, and definitely even fewer on the women's side. Great save there by Tresick as it was deflected through just from the hash marks. Guided right into the glove, though. So despite the fact that Tresick has allowed 2 goals here tonight, she's really played a very good game. She's made some key saves to keep the scoreline tight. Unfortunately for her, she's just, to this point, been outdueled by Naus in the opposite crease. 1:25 to go in the Warriors' power play. Midland very close to too many players as they have the door open. And somebody's skate looked like it came out. And I think officials will never admit it, but I've officiated sports, not hockey, but enough to say definitively that it's like if you've given a whole bunch of calls to one team, eventually you kind of get to a point where it's like, I don't know if I want to do that again. And I think that might have been just that. Like, because you could have, by the letter of the law, called that too many players on the ice, but the Saints have already had 6 power plays, and they haven't done anything with them. Now, that isn't technically supposed to be the job of the official to take that into account, but when you're dealing with humans, it tends to factor in. Now here's a potential shorthanded break. 10 seconds left. Here comes Morris from the left wing. She's going to take the shot, and it's up high. Faceoff will stay inside the zone, so that ramped off the shoulder of the goaltender. So from the broadcasting side of things, I'm trying to do my best here. I've said shutout twice. hasn't managed to put any kind of curse on the Midland Warriors thus far. Here comes Campbell as we're back to 5-on-5. Saints trying to get in front of this one. Oh, it's a bouncer. Loose in the slot, and Tresick makes the glove save. 14:52 left to go here in the third. 2-0 Warriors. 2 goals for Ashlyn Cuffler. Shot from the goal line was blocked as it came off the stick of Poole. She couldn't get it through to goal. Gerwitz coming out with speed. She's got Beckett here on the near wing. Beckett tried the slingshot shot, and that wouldn't quite go through. Beckett falls to the ice. Referees say that was of her own accord. Poole comes in 1-on-3. Pocket was picked by Sutton. Stretch pass too far out of the reach of Beckett. 14:14 to go. Tossed in by Jordan Bell. Bell gives it over to Cuffler. Now it's kicked around by Sutton. Thrust over to the far side. Morris jabs it up the zone. Not out though. Cuffler loses it on the circle. Hansen guides it to Beckett here on the near wing. Gains the blue line and slows up. Hansen was coming on through it. Again, no call as she was interfered with on the way through. Referees have done a pretty good job of keeping this one in check. Although Maryville has more power plays overall, it's been a pretty evenly called game. Neither team has done anything too much with the power plays. Midland does have one goal on the power play, so they are 1 for 4. Karunakar takes a spill along the far side half wall, guided along the boards, intercepted along the end wall. Ross took a seat. The physicality is starting to pick up here in the third period. One-touch pass from Putnam to Karunakar. Through the middle, and it's off the toes of Brooklyn Gillings. Gillings will chase it down. Leaves it in the corner. O'Leary. Villard took a spill. A lot of players hitting the ice here in the third period. I kind of joked around about the non-calls. That one was literally just incidental contact. Now Villard takes a spill. Tresick leaves it. Gerwitz finds O'Leary, and then somehow that went through her stick. It seemed like she was exactly positioned where she needed to be. It was almost like there was a hole in the blade of her stick. Here's O'Leary, and she dusts it off into the offensive zone, but not for long. Deflected puck by Windross ends up in behind the goal. Saints trying to set something up. They've got to get something going in terms of shots towards goal. They've had 25, but only 2 in this period thus far. We're about 90 seconds away from the midway point of the third. Off a skate, and then Tresick made the save on the shot from the high slot. Poole was spun around by Toole. O'Leary takes the pass off the near side wall. A bouncing puck into the middle. Windross left it. Toole was there. Page is spun around. Everybody's starting to look for penalties, but I kind of think we're just getting into that period of day where the nighttime ice combined with perhaps a little bit of fatigue here in the third period leads to some legs just kind of going out from underneath players. Hansen pushes it over here towards the near side. Struther would have been there, but she had to gather up her dropped stick in the right circle. 10:35 to go here in the third. Saints trail by 2. There are no 2-point plays in hockey, so Maryville's just got to find a way to get that first one and then see how things play out. 10:26 left to go here in the third. Beckett trying to get there before Huberdeau. Morris trying to help out. Karunakar jousting with the forward for Midland. And now the Warriors come in with numbers. Kuffler looking for goal number 3, and it was off the toe of Putnam instead. 9:55 to go. Karunakar tried to slice through Bell, and Bell got a piece of it. Bell goes in behind the net. Kuffler from the corner. She's got Putnam right on her. Sutton plays it up the near side wall. Beckett was handcuffed, and it's given away. Wood carries back into the corner boards. Sutton comes over to steal it for a moment. Putnam strips it. Plays it up the wall, but not out. Howden takes a shot through the top of the crease, but wide. Wood guides it on around towards the far side. Berilski will get there. Tosh looking back for Berilski. She backhands it with power in behind the net. Putnam saw it coming. Up the wall, too awkward to handle for Morris. Putnam gets it again, cross ice, just out of the reach of Berilski. Otherwise, she would have had an open chance towards goal. Beckett bounces it in as she tries to head off on a change. McGuire takes the bump from Gerwitz. Gerwitz comes up with the puck, flips it up the glass, and that barely stays in. Looked like it might have grazed the net, but referee's going to allow it to play. McGuire goes far side, and it's out of the reach of Campbell. Falardo had her pocket picked from Campbell. Campbell in behind the net, looking for McGuire. McGuire was held up by Brennan. Falardo took down McGregor. Long shot from the point. Oh, and they had McGuire in front looking for the deflection. A third goal here for the Warriors, and that basically would be the nail in the coffin. Bouncer back out towards center. Over the stick of Ross. Danners gets it in. Here comes Falardo. Lost it at the blue line. McGuire finds Bell. Takes a shot. It was blocked. Villard got in front of it. Villard and Gerwitz take it in along the wall. Up the boards to O'Leary. And now in behind the play, we get a whistle. As the referee had seen enough, it's going to be Villard for the Saints and Taylor Bell for the Warriors going into the box. So each team will lose a player. I had initially thought maybe they would keep it 5-on-5, but they are going to call both penalties as being enforced. As long as I have followed and studied hockey, I still have not truly ever figured out why sometimes matching penalties end up with nobody losing a man. You stay 5-on-5, and then other times you play 4-on-4. And then it also seems to depend on the level. Like there seems to be slightly different rules perhaps for the NHL versus college, which that would be understandable, but even within the college ranks it seems like it kind of differs. 7 minutes left to go. 4-on-4 for 1 minute and 20 seconds. Here comes Huberdeau. She's got a little bit of an edge. Takes a shot and a good block by Karunakar. Putnam with a hot pass up the middle, and then it's held in by Huberdeau. She's trying to ward off Karunakar. Putnam dug in along the corner boards. Karunakar coming over to help, trying to jostle it loose, and she's able to get it up the wall. And then a pass was too far behind Beckett. And Tresick finds it in between the legs. Referee was slow to blow the whistle. I don't know how he could have seen where that puck was. Obviously, based on Tresick's reaction, it was loose. But if the official could see that, they have better eyes than I do. Which may not be saying much, but still made a good point, I say. Here's Smolinski trying to use Brennan as a little bit of a shield, cutting in on Huberto. Campbell is there as well as she pushes Smolinski to the wall, and then finally it's poked out into the neutral zone. 5:50 left to go. Saints come into the offensive end. It's off a skate. Campbell just being a nuisance for the Warriors. She's done that all game long, doing her job very well. Saints will change up their lines as both teams will gain a player in 4 seconds. Saints being outshot in the period 4-3. But most importantly, just a minute 44 seconds in, is that Kuffler goal that has given the Warriors a little bit of insurance in this one. Here comes Villard. Lost it just a little bit coming through the slot. Pass back to Putnam. One time to Karunakar, and then it's guided away. It's still loose along the blue line. She almost could have held that in, but it was just out of her reach, which has kind of been the case all night long. And I don't mean for her, but just for the Saints in general. Here's Bell with a centering feed. That's intercepted after it went off of a skate. Saints retreat into their own zone. Tresick leaves it in behind the goal, but it's a Warrior to pick it up. Ditto from the near side point. Lofts one into the corner. Ricochets off the wall and over towards the far corner. 4:40 left to go here in the third, and it's under the skates of McNair. From center ice, she sent it in. No icing. Karunakar down low. Off the wall. And the Saints trying to complete a line change. Here comes Wood on the counterattack. Wood against Gerwitz, and she shoots right into Tresick's glove. Barilski goes to the point, and the one-timer was blocked. On the stick now of Tosh. Lost it in the corner. Saints on the counterattack. Here comes Beckett. One-on-one with Blaine. Beckett into the middle. Morris was cutting through, but the pass was too close to the defender. Sutton dumps it into the corner. Chased down by Danners. Morris sidesteps one defender. The second one was too much. And we get a whistle and a stoppage with 3:49 to go. The faceoff stays inside the zone after some communication between the officials. Doesn't matter as the Warriors come up with the win. 3:45 to go. Back out into the neutral zone. Smolinski steps around McGregor. McGuire got a piece of the puck, but Smolinski uses the reach to hold on. Pass into the middle was thwarted. McGuire comes the other way on or off wing. Slowed up by Hansen. McGregor tried to dop it back to the point, and instead it's with Hansen. Ross slams it off the wall, but Howden was right there. Long pass up the near side. Ross couldn't settle it down. Huberto keeps it away from Hansen. Smolinski pitchforks it over here towards the near corner. Howden steps up to keep it alive for the Warriors. Under 3 to go. Saints have to find a way to get in the offensive zone, which they haven't done in a little bit in terms of clean offensive pressure. And it'll be even longer now as they freeze it up along the near side of the net. Timeout is taken. Tommy Lang wanting to talk things over with his team, trying to figure something out. Saints have done a pretty good job in this game as a whole, but not quite as much in the third period. And obviously allowing that early goal really allowed Midland to kind of put the clamps down defensively and really focus on the defensive side and only counter when they needed to. There's 2:42 left in the period, and we have only got a total of 8 shots on goal, 5 for the Warriors and just 3 for the Saints. And most of those even came somewhat earlier in the period. So, again, it's kind of one of those things to where it's easy to say from the broadcast booth. It's like, oh, you got to get forward. You got to try to get shots on goal. Well, when they're not even letting you into the zone, you have to give credit to the defending team. So the Warriors have really just kind of smothered everything. The Saints trying to find a seam here or there. And it's been a combination of well-placed defenders, good sticks, and passes that are just slightly off. Every once in a while they're hitting the skates, or it'll be just a little too far, and when the player has to reach, they can't really make a move, and the defender has that extra stride or two to get back into position. 2:30 left to go here in the third period. Warriors just getting it down low every single opportunity that they can. Beckett trying to chase it down, but she lost the foot race to Blaine. Warriors cleared out into the neutral zone. Gerwitz puts it right back in. Here's Morris trying a quick pass to Beckett, who would have centered it. Gerwitz gets it down low. 95 seconds remain. Here's Gerwitz, a little faint move. Morris tries to stuff it short side, nothing doing there. 80 seconds now left. Beckett to Smolinski. Rainbow shot, save, rebound was there, but gathered up by the Warriors. Now Morris, who's fatigued, unable to hold that one in, should be an icing. If it goes far enough. No, they're going to wave it off. Got caught up in some snow. And then the stretch pass was not there for Beckett. Now she's able to find it. Gillings comes in. Brennan is driving the net. Gillings takes the shot and missed. And we get a late whistle, but that's the correct call. It came out of the zone. 38.6 seconds left. And the Warriors are going to pick up their 16th win of the year. And again, as we mentioned in the pregame, they're not just racking up wins against no-name teams. They've been playing similar schedule to Maryville. They're playing some tough teams. They've played Adrian. They've played Midland. They've played Jamestown. And they've played some other good teams as well. So this Midland team has really gotten themselves rolling here in the early going. Meanwhile, the Saints, as we see right there with Villard, just struggling just a little bit. Like, you can see that the talent is still there, but when you play this tough of a schedule, it's basically one of two things that can happen. You can either get off to an unbelievable start and really get everything on your side. I feel like the afterburners have just been strapped to you, like the Warriors have. Or you can go through a little bit of a struggle here like the Saints have now, as they've dropped 3 out of their last 4. And unfortunately, their overall record is now below 500, as they are 3-4 on the season. But when you're losing to teams that are all national championship contenders, it's just kind of difficult. I mean, basically the Saints have organized their schedule in a way that is going to prepare them for March. Now, your regular season record may not look as good as you would like, as it currently does not, but I think this pays dividends later in the season, as long as the Saints can start picking up wins come November, and hopefully tomorrow as well. So we'll see how that shapes up. It was a close game, but the Warriors end up getting the only goals of the contest. Kuffler with 2, a power play goal in the first, and then an even strength goal here early in the third, and that was the difference in this one. Final shots 28-21 in favor of the Saints, but Bryn Naus, despite my efforts to jinx her, comes up with the shutout for the full 60 minutes. These two teams will play each other again tomorrow afternoon. We hope that you will join us for that one. Puck drop will be right here on the Maryville Saints Hockey Network at 12:30 local time. So until then, I've been Todd Panula for Eric Skelton, making us look good behind the scenes. And for everybody associated with Maryville hockey, we thank you for watching, and good night, everyone.